KNXT Channel 2. Because of the following special broadcast, The Wacky World of Jonathan Winters will not be presented tonight.
Hold the Oscar up, Jane.
It's a great honor to be honored by my fellow workers.
It was so exciting.
What are you people afraid of?
Don't you sell America to me!
Oh, be quiet!
The power of Christ! The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you!
Oscars, actors, and the Exorcist. Sounds a little bit like lights, camera, action, doesn't it? But after all, this is a show coming to you from Hollywood, so what can you expect? I'm David Sheehan. What I do is review movies on television. Since television is where you'll be seeing the Academy Awards very soon now, it's also kind of a good place to do a little backstage handicapping on this year's Oscar competition. There are some very revealing implications in the most significant of this year's Oscar nominees, so in the next half hour we'll be examining some of those implications. First, we'll try to get behind all the headlines about The Exorcist. Director Bill Friedkin and author-producer Bill Blatty, both Oscar nominees, will respond to some of my criticisms. Jack Lemmon has a lot to say about what went into his Oscar nominee performance in Save the Tiger. So does Joanne Woodward about hers in Summer Wishes, Winter Dreams. And there's also Al Pacino in Serpico, Marlon Brando in Last Tango in Paris, and Barbra Streisand in The Way We Were. Plus the questionable list of nominations for a trivial distraction called The Sting, along with some interview insights from Sting star and Best Actor nominee Robert Redford. We'll look at key scenes from the Oscar contenders and see if we can determine exactly what it is they are contending.
In these uncertain times, Pan Am would like to make certain of at least one thing, your vacation. Among our many tours, we have a special group called Pan Am's World Tours. On them, you're assured that the price of one part of your vacation, the land features, won't go up if you leave before August 31st. Furthermore, we guarantee in writing that once you get there, you'll get all the land features promised, or features of equal value. If you don't get something, let us know within 60 days of your return, and we'll give you a refund for its cost.
Steak tastes better broiled with butter. Mushrooms taste better sautéed in butter. And now bread and rolls taste better because we've added butter, pure creamery butter. So Home Pride and Rich Bread Butter Top and new soft rolls taste buttery even before you butter them.
We like the bread so much, we tried new Home Pride dinner rolls, topped with butter.
Delicious.
Butter Top bread and new soft dinner rolls by Home Pride.
The Exorcist getting 10 Academy Award nominations is almost anticlimactic. This scary movie about evil spirits has already gone way beyond mere awards. Projections make it the biggest moneymaker in history, and all kinds of supernatural meanings are being attributed to it. Some clergymen call The Exorcist a religious experience, while psychotherapists consider it dangerous. I consider it just a good old-fashioned horror movie, but a very convincing and highly sophisticated horror movie, sort of the ultimate thriller, thanks mostly to the genius of director Bill Friedkin, who is sure to win this year's Best Director Oscar, as he did in 1972 for The French Connection. Friedkin obviously knew what he was up to in directing The Exorcist, and what he was up to wasn't religious or supernatural or philosophical. It was pure showmanship.
I think that people go to the movies, and always have, for three reasons only: either to laugh, or to cry, or to be scared. And I guarantee anyone in the audience that if they see The Exorcist, it'll scare the hell out of them.
Is Father Karras here?
Yes.
Father?
He's here already.
Father Karras.
It's an honor to meet you, Father.
The whole thing was so powerful in terms of the way it affects the audience, but it seems like the emphasis in what you did was more on the side of manipulating the audience, affecting the audience, rather than saying something to the audience.
Oh, I accept that totally, because I think that the primary purpose of a filmmaker, of a writer or director, is to tell a story on film. And I'm more interested in the action line of the story than the philosophic underpinning.
that really involved in the meaning?
There are many possible meanings, David, to any good story, and they are as variable as the people who see the film.
The power of Christ compels you. 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 The power of Christ compels you.
But did you really want to, through the film, invest that much power in Catholic ritual, what some people might call mumbo-jumbo?
Well, I don't think of it as mumbo-jumbo, having, you know, studied it a bit in preparation for the film. The answer to your question is unequivocally yes. The power of ritual, the power of faith, has been known to work not only historically, but in modern times, and in modern cases of so-called demonic possession.
Which is the very concept that's prompted a number of psychiatrists to take exception to The Exorcist, because the movie gives credibility to old superstitions, the devil myth in particular. Even more destructive, they say, is the movie's idea that problems can be solved by magic instead of by rational solutions. And I suppose there's no question that the picture purposely plays with the more irrational fears and fantasies of many people who see it, just as the book did, which could be called psychic exploitation.
It is an exploitation, yes, of the theme of the mystery of goodness. Namely, if you believe there could be a devil because of all the evil in the world, how do you account for all of the good? And that's what the film is saying.
That may be what the writer is saying, but what the people standing in those endless lines are hearing is that there are thrills in store, shocking scenes, terrifying effects, and people really are fainting and getting sick just from watching a movie.
I passed out in about the first half hour, yeah.
I don't know what they should do with that movie, but I don't want to see the rest of it.
I fainted like 10 minutes after the first beginning of the movie.
Those who are most deeply affected have made the connection between that horrifying obscenity on the screen, that demon, and the evil in their own lives.
And I started closing my eyes, and I could hear the gagging, and I was getting sicker.
It just scared me to death. Things just like this, really scared me to death. I think it's disgusting.
That's guilt, David, that is being touched. That's that nerve that's being exposed.
My legs are just going, nyeh, and I want to go in the lobby and not watch it, and I have to cover my ears.
What was it that made that happen?
When she started talking like devil coming out of her. Bleh.
And if they vomit after making that unconscious connection, that's good, because vomiting is a purgative.
Shocked. Total shock.
I plugged my ears. I couldn't even stand the sounds of that movie. It really scared me.
And I hope that their souls are being cleansed as well.
But couldn't that also be interpreted just as the shock value, the fright of...
Well, you're saying shock value, but you haven't defined it. I mean, when you scrub that thin veneer off it, we find, I think, what I have described, that it's, I mean, that which moves you really deeply is impinging on the subconscious.
But I don't think The Exorcist does move you really deeply. Its effect is more like the superficial jolt of any sudden shock. It may still impinge on some people's subconscious, though, who knows? And it's certain to impinge on the subconscious of the people voting for the Academy Awards, if for no other reason, just because it's become such a movie phenomenon, superficial or not. For some stuff that's anything but superficial, I'll be right back with Jack Lemmon, Al Pacino, Marlon Brando, and Joanne Woodward.
Now they're ready for snack cakes. They'd eat them all the time, if I let them. When I do serve snacks, I always serve Hostess. Fruit pies, cupcakes, and Twinkies. Because Hostess stands for freshness, they love that moist, springy cake and creamy filling. Hostess fruit pies, cupcakes, and Twinkies. Freshness never tasted so good.
Holding hands. Holding hands. The more you like to hold hands, the more you like Touch of Sweden, the hand holder's hand lotion. It's rich in soft, silky moisturizers that make your hands really soft, and yet Touch of Sweden doesn't leave your hands sticky. And it's a lot nicer to hold hands when they aren't sticky. Touch of Sweden, the hand holder's hand lotion.
MPS. What does it mean? Let's ask the people who buy this premium Cal-Can product.
Pardon me. Do you know what MPS means?
Oh, meat and protein in a sauce.
More pet satisfaction.
It's a mighty perfect supper.
Means plenty of sales.
Well, that's not surprising. It's the #1 seller in California. Cal-Can MPS. Find out what it means to you and your dog.
It's got to mean something.
Good evening. You know who I am. I'd like to tell you about Universal Studios Tour. They have sets, stuntmen, special effects.
Well, we're now leaving our
stars.
lot, entering our back lot. This is known as Colonial Street.
You do meet the strangest people on the tour.